This video is brought to you by Loot Crate. Do you love geeky collectible items like figures and shirts and accessories? Then you should subscribe to Loot Crate. For just $13 a month, you will get a box in the mail filled with all sorts of different collectible items. Items from Nintendo games, and comic books, and movies, and much, much more. Fill all of your geeky needs with Loot Crate. For more information, click the link in the description below.
Questions, questions, and more questions. I've lived a long life, and I've experienced a lot of different things, and I've answered a lot of different questions. But even in my long life of 20 years, and all of my experience in video games, there has been one question that still remains on my mind. Should I wear navy blue or lime green underwear today? Definitely going with blue. That way if I sag a little today, people won't notice as much, unless I was wearing green. There was also one other question that I've been asked all of my life. One question that haunts me to this very day. A question so diabolical, I had to make this skit just to explain to the viewers just how hard it was to answer. And that question is,
what are my top 10 favorite Zelda dungeons? Let's see how much hate I get for this one. Video, start. What's up everybody, we are MURPHGAM and this is MURPH Gaming. Coming in at number 10 is the Earth Temple from Wind Waker. When it came to choosing between the Earth Temple and the Wind Temple, I decided to go with this one, mainly because of this cute little bird right here. Aww. Also, I really enjoy the light puzzles over the wind puzzle. That one puzzle where you have to bounce all the lights off of each other is one of my favorite parts, although I do prefer the boss from the Wind Temple over the boss in this one. Next is the Tower of HERA from A Link Between Worlds. Now I know what you're thinking, but what about the tower from Link to the Past? Although that is one of my favorite dungeons in Link to the Past, I'm afraid that it was very hard for me to get any of the 2D Zelda dungeons on this list, mostly for the fact that I just love the 3D ones a lot more, if you even consider this a 3D game. Anyways, I've always found the dungeons in Link Between Worlds very fascinating, mostly because of the 3D aspect that they add as you climb the levels and the ability to latch onto walls. I don't know, there's just something about this dungeon that makes me excited to play it every time. When it came down to the mining facility and the SANDSHIP, I had to go with the SANDSHIP. This whole entire dungeon is just super creative, with the ability to go back and forth in time, and no matter what other people say, I actually like fighting Cilia from Monsters Inc., so back off. The whole lead up whenever you fight the thing is just so epic. This is just one of those dungeons that I always look forward to in Skyward Sword. Speaking of looking forward to in Skyward Sword, for number 7, I've chosen the Ancient Cistern. Alright, let's be real here. The biggest reason that this dungeon is even on the list is for the boss. We all know that. I love him so much. But besides that, this dungeon is also based off of an ancient tale, or something like that. I'm not going to go into great detail about it because everybody does, but if you want to know about it, just Google it, that's what it's for. But it really is a very interesting story, and it's pretty neat to see that it's implemented into a Zelda dungeon. On top of that, you get to use an item that I really enjoy to use, the whip. Yes, I know, it sounds lame, but hey, I can be Indiana Jones if I feel like it. Bringing it back over to Link Between Worlds, we have the Thieves' Hideout. There are a lot of escort missions in video games, and I tend to hate them all, but this particular escort mission was actually very satisfying to play. You basically have to go through the entire thing twice, once with and without Bay. I can't believe I just said Bay. I must be some kind of idiot. Future Caleb, leave this in. Anyways, this dungeon has a very well-designed boss that just ties in all of the puzzles and escorting you have to do that just makes for a great dungeon. Rats. Why did it have to be invisible rats? Get ready for a slew of Twilight Princess dungeons. Favorite game. Yet another dungeon with an item everybody hates, but I love. This dungeon is half a ripoff of Forest Temple of Ocarina of Time, and the rest is a wacky spinning good old time. The theme and atmosphere of this dungeon is just plain creepy, but I love it. Who wouldn't, with the great puzzles, fun to battle enemies, and a fantastic boss leading up to the halfway point of the game. Just watch out for the sinking sand. Remember earlier when I said I tend to hate most escort missions? Well, here's another escort mission, only this one has a nice twist to it. Taking place in the past inside the Temple of Time, you fight your way through creepy and cool music with an interesting atmosphere just to get to the end and find a statue that you have to control and take all the way back to the beginning. Except there's one tiny little bitty detail that makes this cool. You get to destroy everything along the way, brutally murdering and slaughtering everything that stood in your way! Unless you accidentally hit yourself and take off a heart. Whoops. Let me just slip this right on in before I get back to Twilight Princess. If anyone ever asks me which dungeon is my favorite from Ocarina of Time, which they did in the live stream, I'm quick to jump to this one. The whole area freaks me out and it makes me want to pee myself. And I love it. This place is really confusing with all of its twisting halls and creepy hands and scary music and fun puzzles. Ugh, this dungeon, I always look forward to it whenever I play Ocarina of Time. I don't know what it is about weirdly atmosphered places, but these abominations right here are the definition of creepy, and guess what? There's a whole entire civilization of them in the sky! You can't even kill them, believe me, I've tried. But I think the driving point of this dungeon is the extra claw shot. It makes me feel like Spider-Man just zipping all over the place. There are several clever little puzzles here, and it all leads up to this super climactic fight with a dragon thing. Nothing more satisfying than hearing that music when you're stabbing it in the back. So, yeah. I don't ever hear people say this is their favorite, so, get ready for it. You ready? Here it comes. Snow Peak Ruins. Yeah, I know I'm weird. I don't need you to tell me in the comments. So, here's why I love this dungeon. A lot of things come into play. First, I love house, mansion, office-themed areas. I don't know why. The only thing I can think of is the office-themed level in Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase that I used to play as a kid. But horror games that take place in houses, and the Stanley Parable and games like that, I absolutely love. So when I find out that my soon-to-be favorite game of all time has a mansion-themed dungeon, I'm all in. I actually like the ice puzzles. I find them to be challenging and a lot of fun. I love both of the Yetis and the fact that you can get soup there anytime, even if they take you to the wrong chest several times. and that awesome cutscene before an awesome boss fight, it all just adds up together to make one great dungeon for me. Just remember that if you look into Yeto's eyes, you'll find true beauty. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I definitely hope to see you in the next one. Be sure and let us know how it was in the comments, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you want to become part of the MURPHGAM army today. We have a ton of other videos for you to see, so be sure to give those a look. We also have a ton of social media sites, so if you want to keep up with all that Murphy goodness, be sure to check out those as well. Remember, we're MURPHGAM, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.